All right, guys, welcome back to another Full Send podcast. We got a legend, Chuck the Iceman Liddell, on the pod today. Before we get into it, if you guys have not tried out the Prize Picks app, you've got to try it out. I love the Fire on Sports, and I've tried out every single app. Prize Picks is by far the most fun. There's nothing like fucking greening out on a lineup. What makes Prize Picks different is you hop on the app, every player has a set projection, and then you either go more or less than that set projection. Also, Prize Picks now, you can fire on teams, you can fire on the score of the game, you can fire on the spread. So like when I'm watching sports, what I'll do now is I'll fire like a slip or two slips, and then I'll also choose like who I think is just gonna win the game. Prize Picks are also available in so many different states, California, Texas, also available now in New York State again. So if you're in New York State, download the Prize Picks app, and also Tennessee now, you can choose teams as well. We got you guys on a code NELK here. If you've never tried out Prize Picks, put in just $5 and you're gonna get $50 for free with code NELK. If you guys wanna see what I'm picking on a daily basis, you can just follow me right on the Prize Picks app at Kyle. And then you can either fade my ass or you could tail me. Shout out to Prize Picks, the best app in the game to fire on sports. Download it. Let's get into the pod. All right, guys, welcome back to another Full Send podcast. We have an absolute legend, and I mean legend, in the building today. Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
Thanks,
Crazy.
man.
Great to have you, bro. We've been wanting to have you on for a while. I remember watching you. I think I was in like probably 8th grade in like the Spike TV days when I remember those fights. That's got to be the best era of the UFC. Would you agree?
I'm a little biased,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a good time. It was fun. We had a great time.
Do you think that was like the best time in a division ever? Like the light heavyweight division at that time?
Well, it was the big, at that time it was it was the premier, division, I guess. But yeah, there was a lot of great fights back then. So, it was a lot bigger. Like, it was a UFC, there's 5 or 6 a year, not, 45. It got big, it's a little more. I'm glad there's a lot more guys out there, a lot more guys fighting, a lot more fights.
Yeah. I just remember how deep it was. It was like you, Tito, Rampage, like, was that Machida, Shogun?
Yeah, everybody, yeah.
Rashad Evans.
Yeah, a lot of good guys.
When you were fighting back then, did you kind of see the UFC getting as big as like a sport as it was, or how was it back then?
Like a lot of times, the way I put it is, I always thought it would get there because it's the greatest sport in the world, but I thought it would take a lot longer, and I think that us getting on, it was just so hard to break into getting on free TV, getting people to understand even that what kind of fan base we had, even at that time, and then but the reality show Tough just exploded. I mean, it made it. It was genius. I mean, it was great. It was like I think Dana said it was this Trojan horse to get a free fight on TV and get people to see the sport, and got to see meet guys that are fighting and see them training, see them doing stuff. It exploded. I mean, I can tell you, for me, it went from me being able to walk through a mall and go, okay, that guy probably knows who I am, and that guy with the tap out shirt on, he knows me, and that guy maybe, to 60-year-old ladies coming, hey, good fight the other night.
Wow.
And it was almost overnight after
From The Ultimate Fighter.
From Ultimate Fighter, yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter was
from before Ultimate
sick.
Fighter to like, then because we had the Ultimate Fighter, had that, and then I won the title the week after, and it was insane.
How much of the reality TV did you like? Because I know you did Cameo and Entourage too.
Oh,
you got.
Yeah, well, I like
Cameo.
Cameos.
Parking lot.
That was a lot of fun.
Dude, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, that was awesome, and that was my favorite show back then. Like, it was probably the last show I actually went out of my way to try to see each episode right when it aired. So
how did that even come together?
I don't know. I asked everybody I knew, like, hey man, give me. I just wanted to do like a cameo on the show. I just want to walk in and say hi to Vince or something. It was my favorite show. And then someone got me on there, and they're like, hey, wait, we got this. I think they changed the punk thing for me.
Yeah.
So, we got Chuck, but let's do this.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. That's one of the best episodes ever.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What was it like coaching on The Ultimate Fighter?
It taught me in the beginning. It taught me a lot of things for as a coach. Because like I remember working with Forrest, and I'm trying to show him something, and it's like, man, this works for me every time, and he can't seem to get it. What? And he's pretty good. Like he should understand. What am I not doing? What am I not showing him? And it just there's a little detail in the middle of it I do naturally to load something that made it work, like the move works. So I'm like, oh, so I learned a lot more about showing details and teaching details. It's because it's different. I mean, no one, when I first started coaching people, it's like you're like, no, throw it like this, like, and they're like, well, I don't know what you're doing different. So, but like, 'cause I have a lot of friends that, you know, you see some guys that are really good at this guillotine, right? Jake Shields was great guillotine, and finishing guys, and I'm watching him go, okay, he's teaching it the same way everybody else teaches it. What's he doing different? You just go, oh, okay, he's adjusting that. Okay, now I see what he's doing. So I think I learned from coaching there, from working with guys that obviously just were good at what they do, and they really, they're not getting what I'm teaching. I must be doing something else.
What was your biggest payday fight? Was it Rampage?
I'd have to look back. I don't know.
What do you think was your most iconic fight?
Iconic. That's
In terms of like opponent, like who was was it Tito?
well, Tito was fun, but I always knew from training with
Yeah?
him. I trained with him. I knew I was
You're gonna whoop
win
his
that,
ass?
win that whoop his ass, not
Yeah.
fight. Now, I always, if I had to pick one, I mean, it'd be the fight with Randy, the second fight, because I avenged my loss. I finally got the title I was after, and it was right after the show. But first time I had a minimum pay-per-view buys to actually hit my bonus. And actually, it's the first time I ever hit my bonus. So I was pretty excited about that too.
Who do you like watching in the UFC now, fighters?
I like watching a lot of the guys. I mean,
You go to a lot of fights in person too.
Is there anyone
Yeah.
like specifically, like maybe top 3 for you?
I
like
don't know. Well, I mean, Alex.
Like Pereira?
Pereira, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he trains with Glover, and Glover's my guy. So until Glover retired, Glover was one of my favorites, just because we're friends. You know, I don't know. I like watching a lot of fighters. A lot of guys trying to finish today. I think for a little while, guys are trying to just
Wrestle.
just try to edge out a win. Like making sure just doing just point fighting, just trying to do enough to win. And I like it. Like I don't care how you try to finish. I don't care if you're ground and pound submission guy, striker. As long as you're trying to finish, I like to watch it. So
Do you not like guys that'll just like wrestle and just try to like kind of win by points? Because I know a lot of people complain about that. Sometimes it could be fun to watch if it's a technical grappling match.
scrambling, like,
look,
yeah.
here's the thing. I'm a wrestler and I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. So I can appreciate technical. If you're not just riding the guy out, if you're just not ground and hold, you lay it, or what they used to call it, lay and pray.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just taking the guy down and holding him there, it's like, what are you doing? I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
But I put it on if the guys get held down for complain about a guy holding a guy down for 5 rounds. Hey, learn how to get off your back. If you can't get off your back, that's your problem. But I mean, the problem I have with some of these fights is you see guys out there and they're like, you're not even trying to get off your back.
Yeah.
Do you not know how to get off your back? You're just holding him. He's laying on top of you. You're losing the fight.
Yeah.
Get up.
I always think about
and
that.
it's different. Like if I see a guy, if you're trying to get up and the guy's countering, that's one thing.
Right.
That's great. I like that actually. That's cool. Watching but if you're just laying down there and holding your close guard, like, hey, by the way, you're not going to submit this guy. He's great on top. You're not going to submit him. Get up.
Do you think there's people like that try to prepare for that and they find whatever the best sparring partner and then they fight Khabib or Islam and they're just not, there's nothing you can do to prepare for that?
I wouldn't know because I see it's what I'm watching. I'm watching a guy do the things he's doing down on the bottom.
Yeah.
He obviously does not know how to get off his back.
Yeah.
Or he's not doing anything that I would consider attempting to get off his back. It's not so much that he's being countered as much as he's just. And I'm not saying that someone like that Khabib or someone wouldn't have countered.
Yeah.
That's okay too. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you're not even. I'm watching them. You're not. It's frustrating because they're not even trying.
Like
If you get rid out for 5 rounds and you're not trying to get off your back, to me, I can't forget which guy it was, but watching him sit there and he's just holding the guy down and not letting him damage him. I can't.
Hamza? I'm talking about the Hamza
I
DDP.
feel like you see that a decent amount now.
Yeah, it might have been that one. Yeah,
Which happened recently, yeah.
yeah.
He couldn't do shit though.
He couldn't do anything though, yeah. I mean, when you're that dominant as a wrestler, I mean, Hamzat's wrestled his whole life. I mean, how are you gonna stop that?
But it has to do with knowing how to get like
Or trying
like
to
I
at
said,
least, right?
if you don't know how to get, if
Agreed,
you don't, to me it looks like they don't know how to get off their back, or they're just not even trying. It's okay with me that a guy stops you. Okay, I get that. Okay, guys, he's good, great. Then I can live with that. But I don't want to watch you if you're just going to sit down there and lay there and just try to keep him from damaging you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to hold on to the.
So you got to blame the guys on the bottom just as much.
100%.
That's a good point.
And you got they need to work.
Get the fuck up if you can.
Get up and or try to get up. And, you know, but that was one of those things. Like for me, I was always like I did a lot of stuff. I like work from a half guard down there. I do a lot of different things from down there, but. You know, you got to start right away. You can't if you get those guys get set on top of you. It's a bitch. You got to get good, strong wrestler on top. They get set on top of you. Okay, now it's a bitch. So you gotta start as soon as you hit the ground and get boom. You gotta be working to get out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, anytime I'm doing anything crypto related, whenever I want to buy or sell, I'm using the MoonPay app. What I love about the MoonPay app is it's so easy to use, and they also accept every single type of payment provider you could think of. They have PayPal, Venmo, you can use your credit card, literally everything. And now they're teaming up with Wallet and Telegram. So this is this brand new wallet that's built right into Telegram. So if you use Telegram, now you can send crypto through Telegram the same way that you send a message or a meme. It's crazy. The wallet in Telegram is fast, it's self-custodial, so it means you actually own your crypto. And with MoonPay, you can buy it straight into seconds. That's MoonPay and Wallet and Telegram, money that moves at the speed of the internet. Also guys, every week we do MoonPay Mondays where we give away 1,000 in Bitcoin. All you have to do is DM us on Nelkboys X or Instagram your MoonPay wallet address. So download the MoonPay app, get a wallet address, and then DM it to either our X or Instagram. We literally give away 1,000 in Bitcoin every single Monday, MoonPay Mondays. Shout out to MoonPay, the best crypto app in the game. Let's get back on the pod.
What's your relationship with Dana like these days?
Great, I'm good.
I feel like you guys always were pretty.
Yeah, we were
good relationship.
We had always had a good. Well, he was my coach. I mean, not my coach, my manager before they bought the UFC.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
he was my manager. He had to quit as my manager when they bought the UFC.
I did not know that. That's fucking cool. So how did that come about? How did you guys first meet?
He was actually managing Tito and Wayne Harriman's friend of both of ours, and he actually suggested, "Hey man, you see this guy train with Tito?" And like I started beating up. I was beating him up. I used to beat him up at everything. We trained together. I mean,
Dana loved that probably too, right?
Well, that came later. I think.
Okay.
At this time, he was his manager, so they were probably still there. They were still good, right?
Yeah.
I think their squabbles that started later.
Mm.
He's like this guy. Watch this guy. If you think this guy's good, this guy's beating him up. So he started managing me, and it was, and that's how they decided to. I think that's how Dana decided to buy the UFC with Lorenzo. They were talking about doing a boxing promotion at that time, and then they decided, hey, well, why don't we take this over and do it right? And
wow.
Yeah.
So would Dana like tell you stuff like that back then? Like, oh, we're trying to buy this UFC thing.
Oh yeah, we talked about it. And they were talking about it. Talked about, Dana was always going for that other stuff, like getting bigger stuff than like it was normal to get like Black Belt magazine and stuff like that, karate magazine, stuff like that. But he was always trying to get us into fitness magazines and do that and get more stuff. So,
what'd you notice about him and like his like work ethic or his intelligence when you back then?
Like I said, he's always pushed the envelope, trying to get more promotion, do something better, get something better for you. So it was get something bigger. He was trying to make it bigger. So and he did a great job of it. Him and Lorenzo and Frank, obviously. But
yeah,
what was your personal favorite moment in your UFC career?
Yeah, well, I mean, I people ask that. I would say to put a gun to my head. It would be that the second fight with Randy. So when I knocked him out. It was after winning the show. Like, but both my guys won on the show. Went through the whole thing, and then and everything was exploding, and I went out and won my fight by knockout, and
Yeah.
so
They don't really do the Ultimate Fighter as much anymore, right? The last one was what, McGregor and Chandler?
oh, I don't know. I don't keep up with it that much, but
They should have like you back on as a coach or like two. That would be cool, right?
Would you do it?
it's fun. I do. I like.
They should
I
have
like
two
coaching.
legends on as coaches.
I think they like to have it set up where they can have them fight
Right,
afterwards.
right,
So
true, that makes sense.
That's so because for a long time
Dude,
that promotes a big fight. You know,
who's ruling you out? You don't think Mike Tyson got back in there? You don't think you could get back in there?
I'm 56. My wife would kill me, but yeah, no,
Who do you think is the greatest fighter of all time?
Damn.
all time. My favorite was Anderson Silva. His
Yeah.
prime, probably. I mean,
He was
Yeah.
fun to watch, right?
I mean, beat him. I like BJ and Matt Hughes. Good friend. I mean, they're friends of mine. Guys, I love watching those guys fight.
Is there a dream fight for yourself? Like if there's anyone that you wish you would have fought in your day?
I mean, it's silly. I guess I think it's silly talking about things that can't happen, or
Yeah.
like my prime versus this person's prime, or whatever. I think I matched up well with John Jones. I always thought I would have. I've got longer reach than people think. Because they listed my reach at 76, and I have about 79 inch, 78. I'd be about 80-inch reach. But John did that on purpose. My trainer's a little. He doesn't like. He's always done weird things with stuff like that. Like he didn't want people knowing I was that long.
Yeah,
He didn't want to train for me being long.
that's pretty smart.
Because if you say I have an 80-inch reach, you got to be careful. He's really long. You know, they listed me at 76. So that if you figure by the time you figure out that I'm a little longer than you thought I was, it's a lot of times it's too late.
Yeah, it's a little too late for that.
Yeah. So
Based on all your fight, what's the most important discipline, would you say, to be good at in MMA?
most important, I think you have to be balanced nowadays. You have to be able to do everything. I always say as a coach, what I preferred, if I had to pick something, I'll take an All-American wrestler. I know you're tough. I know you can cut weight, make weight. I don't have to worry about that. And wrestling is a skill that it's hard. It's hard to teach that. You're not going to get the mat hours that they got to get to that good at wrestling. And I can teach everything else.
You think that's the best base? MMA?
I mean, it's the hardest one. The hardest one to get. I don't know. It's if you didn't wrestle since you're a kid, since you're younger, you can still be good. You can still fighting wrestling is different. So you can still be great at it, but you're never going to quite be the same. It's hard to explain, but you just don't have that mad hours of so but if you give me one, and I know they're mentally tough. I don't know if they can. If you made it that far in wrestling, you're mentally tough too. So
what's it like being in the mind of when you were fighting? Were there ever times when you'd go into the ring? Were you always super confident going into a fight, a big fight? Every time, you're always or was there ever times where fuck,
No, I every time. I'm so bad to the point where when I lost, I'll be like, man,
you still thought you won.
Can we start over? I know I can fix that. I know what I did wrong. Let me give me another shot. I can beat this guy. I know. Right after the fight, I knocked out. Still wait up. Man, I know I messed up. I can fix that. So I always thought I could beat someone. I think as a fighter, you should. You should always think, oh yeah, I'm going to beat that guy.
What do you think is the biggest difference between your era in the UFC and now?
There's a lot of differences. I mean, I don't know. I think the biggest difference is now when I came into the sport, right? UFC 17 was my first one.
17. Wow.
That's fucking insane.
First MMA mixed fight was in 97. So, and then I fought in UFC 98. But the biggest thing back then is we were trying to figure out how to train, how to mix it. Like everybody was coming from one discipline and learning the other two. Like for me, one of the advantages I had in the beginning is I came from wrestling and striking. I came from wrestling and kickboxing, karate background, and so I had two, and I had to learn the third. You know, so but we're learning how to just train. How do you spar? How do you
you guys were inventing the sport almost,
right? And yeah, so and things are guys are getting better. You know, I mean, if you go look at leg locks back then, you know, most of these, the leg locks were so basic. You know, some of these they got away with. You couldn't get away with those nowadays.
Yeah, you don't. You know, see that those anymore,
guys. Right? Well, but now the guys are just so much better at leg locks. They're different. You know, it's a different breed. But like now everybody, you start training and you decide a kid wants to train at 5, you take them to a gym that does everything.
Yeah.
You know, they know how to go, they know how to mix it together, how to train, and it just keeps evolving. I mean, the sport when we were doing it, like if you stopped evolving, you died.
Yeah.
You know, it can start out with guys wrestling versus boxing versus jiu-jitsu versus whatever, right? But then it became there, and I think they started with it trying to prove jiu-jitsu was the best. You know, and then what they found out was a mix of all of them is the best.
Yeah.
You know, putting it together, and that's what's gonna.
Did you feel like then there was more pressure on you because there's so many stars in the sport, and back then there was only a few of you guys?
I didn't feel the pressure that way. I mean, I think in the off season there was there's a lot more push to do the media stuff. It was like if there's only a few people knew, so okay, we want you.
Yeah,
you need to go do this.
I guess that's a good thing at the same time.
And at the same time, it was a great thing for me. And we were just, I mean, people are, oh man, a lot of stuff I get now after the fact is because of all the PR we did trying to promote the sport. I was, man, you did a good job with your brand. But no, I just was trying to promote a sport.
Yeah,
we were just trying to grow a sport, and for a long time, we just tried to go into places and trying to learn how to do interviews. I think funny for when I first fought, the first fight with Tito is like, you know, Dana came to me, man, you gotta get your interviews got to get better.
Oh, really?
Radio interviews, you got to do something, you know. But it was hard back then. You'd go in there and people would ask you the same, like I ask you the same dumb questions that really, or they ask you asked and answered questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have their idea of whatever the answer should be, and they kind of walk it through the question. And you're like, do I tell you you're an idiot and you're wrong, or do I just go, okay, yeah, great. That doesn't do anything. And actually, my the manager at the time, his sister helped me because she's not. They're like, get better at interviews. So I went and I got an interview coach. Basically, she came in and she asked me to write down 10 questions. All the 10 questions are what most common questions. She looked down like they're asking you like all these questions. There are 2 questions in here. That's it. So, and look, these people obviously haven't done anything. A lot of times you come to a radio interview, the guys haven't read a one sheet. They don't know what MMA is. They're asking me like, is it like pro wrestling? Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, and what the best bit of advice I got from her was she said, well, one, you need to speak up because I tend to mumble, but then she said, you need, go out there. These questions are dumb. Just whatever question they ask you, the first question, answer yes or no, whatever it is, and talk for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Just talk about whatever you want to get out there.
Yeah.
And just speak.
Yeah.
And what it did is for radio interviews, because they're short, right? You get on there, talk, and now you made a guy look good. He hasn't even looked at his one sheet. He barely knows your name.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they're like, and you give him something that look good, and you look good to him too. You make him look good,
right?
Because any good DJs, if you give them some information, they'll make it funny. They'll make it cool. However their audience wants to hear. They'll take care of the other part of it.
Yeah.
You just have to give them some information that they can use because they'll just pick it out of whatever you said.
All right, if you guys want to start a new business, I got you guys on a sweet deal with Shopify. Listen up. First of all, if you guys didn't know, Shopify, it's true to my heart. I love that they're a sponsor of the podcast because we have used Shopify from the days when we were shipping out merch in my dad's garage to when we were in the cloud house to literally the entire time. Shopify has been the business behind the business. We still use it today for fullsend.com, happydad.com, and soon Ranger Cut Jerky. What I love about Shopify, and I've always loved, is they're there for you every step of the way, and they have all the tools that you need from A to Z. You know, they do the flashy stuff like the websites, the design. They also handle all the boring stuff too, like the shipping, the inventory, the returns. And now they have all these AI tools that we didn't have in the past that are just complete game changers. They save you so much time. If you guys want to start a business, you guys can go to shopify.com/fullsend and you can sign up for a $1 per month trial today. That's shopify.com/fullsend, $1 per month trial today. So if you guys have had an e-commerce business you wanted to start, you just got to get up off your ass and try it. Shout out to Shopify. They've been there for us every step of the way. Take advantage of that deal. Let's get back on the podcast.
Social media and all that's like a skill set where you can just be a fan favorite and not even be the best fighter. You know, you can build a whole career just off your social media.
Right. Well, there's a lot more ways to promote you and get guys out there talking, but back then we were doing it by radio. It was like radio, and it wasn't most of my, like, I like going to the radio, like station, like if they asked me if I wanted to call it or go, I'd rather go.
Yeah.
Because for me back then, you meet the DJ, whoever you're going to talk with, and you have a conversation. A lot of times, if nothing else, if I have a conversation with them before we go on, because it's a real quick hit, right?
Yeah.
If you have a conversation with them before, it makes it so much easier for them when they get on air.
For sure.
Because then now that you're not just kind of going, like we don't know each other.
Yeah.
If you have a little rap before you go out on the radio, it was better.
Right. Dana always likes to post like injuries after fights, like big cuts. What was the worst injury you sustained? Or
I think after my last fight in the UFC, I split up my lip, and I looked pretty bad.
Yeah. What do you think about weight cutting in the UFC? You think guys or fighters should fight closer to their weight?
That's one thing I'll never understand.
By the way,
bro.
It's a balance.
I mean, a lot of fighters.
It's a balance. It's a fighter's choice. If guys want to cut that much weight, great. If you don't, like Alex Pereira, I think he's better at 205 than 185. I think he's a better fighter up there. I think that he's cutting so much weight to get 85. I don't even know how he made it.
How do they do that? I'll never understand that.
I didn't like cutting that much weight. I did the one time, screwed up, long story, but I screwed up they moved the fight date, and so it changed things. So I wound up having to cut 19.5 pounds in one day.
Fuck. How?
Wait. I had to weigh in and then fight. Like,
what do you do the day you have to cut 20 pounds?
Yeah, we cut 19 pounds.
Plastics and sauna plastics and sweat. It's all water.
And you obviously, I know you can't even take a sip of water. And you're like in the sauna, and you're like, are you working?
At that point, you're not taking a sip of water now. But
that is so fun. Like, I could not imagine that. And I don't know how you guys had to also, you have to do that. And then you also have to do media all week long while you're like, that is so
but
fun.
Here, but it's a choice. Because I walked around at like 225, 230, right? I fought 205. But I would diet down during my camp. By fight week, I usually woke up about 213, 214. I went to bed I stopped eating and drinking about 8 o'clock at night. When I go to bed, then I get up in the morning. I hate, by the way, I'd hate having to make weight at 8 o'clock in the morning like they do now, or whatever time they make it now.
Yeah.
We used to didn't have to make it till like 3 or 4. So I don't know. I probably would have had to start cutting. I had to wake up extra early and start cutting, because I slept in when I trained. I slept till about 9 or 10 on fight.
It's about where I'm at. That's what I was today.
Yeah, that's what I slept in when I fought, because I fought. I always tell me I fought at 9 o'clock at night. So if I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, my body's shutting down at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually went to bed a whole fight camp about 1 or 2.
That's smart.
Yeah, so it's more adjusted, but yeah. So
that was like the toughest weight cut.
That was the toughest weight cut. Yeah, and that.
But you still made it.
I made it. I've never missed weight. No.
Was there ever like was that a close call at the end?
Funniest one though, after the Ultimate Fighter, so I found out I didn't know we had a pound allowance until the Ultimate Fighter. I didn't know you only have to make a 106, right? You don't have to make 105 scratch. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I got a pound allowance. So they thought I was having a hard time making weight because I missed weight when I went up to fight. When I fought Randy, the first time I stepped on the scale.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought we got a pound allowance. Well, you don't get a pound allowance for title fights.
You don't.
You don't.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, damn it. So I just ran back in, got in the sauna.
Took a shit and came back?
Well, went in, jumped in the sauna for a few minutes and came back stealing.
Well, that's what I would think.
Well, you
have no food in your system.
I got no real food in your system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to cut 8 pounds of water pretty easy because I like to diet down. But I walked around. 2 weeks out, I'd probably be about 218.
Yeah.
And I probably walked in the cage about 215, 216. But some guys like to cut more. Some people like to feel bigger and they cut more. But I at 205, no one was muscling me. I was about as. I've been 205. I've been 205 since I was 19 years old.
So yeah, you're comfortable right there.
I was that weight. I'd stayed there. So my last fight I was almost 40. So
would you celebrate a lot after big wins?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had a good time. So I was actually the first guy to announce my after party after winning a UFC.
You were the first after party ever?
First guy to announce.
Oh, so you really paved the way.
First guy to announce his after party and a thing. And it was funny because Dana told me a story like 6 months later. He said, I know we were starting to get, when they got mad at me for you announcing, because I did it it was at the Rio, my after party, and we were fighting at Mandalay Bay. And after my fight, and one of the meetings later, like a couple months later, they're like, "Hey, we don't want your fighters sending people off out of the hotel after the fight."
Who said that?
The people from
Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay.
Oh, wow.
We don't want your fighters sending.
Dang.
So after that, all my after parties had to be wherever the venue was.
Because that was the first one announced. Was it pretty fucking packed that night?
It was fun. Yeah.
What fight was that?
I don't remember who. Yeah, I just remember because the fight with the after party was at the Rio. So I have to look at it.
I always wonder now because, win or lose, these guys still host after. It's got to be tough to go to the club after a big loss. And
yeah, but your fans are still there. You still told them you're coming. So
I guess
there's
2 ways of drinking to celebrate.
You're getting paid. You're getting paid.
Yeah,
you got paid. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What was your craziest after fight celebration?
I don't know. I actually don't. They're all pretty good. It was a good time back then. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Pretty hard not to have a good time after winning Vegas, right?
Yeah.
A lot of options.
Yeah, a lot of options. Old school. What was the one?
You would always fight in Vegas, pretty much, right?
Yeah. I fought in Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
Was that the pool party at back then?
Oh, day party.
Yeah, the day party. That
Hard Rock. Does Hard Rock still exist there?
No.
So this was
Virgin.
I wouldn't even know now.
It's Virgin now. The hotel.
I wonder what the club was called at Rio, because I remember Rio when I was a kid. It used to be the spot.
Yeah, it was the one. It was up
top. Yeah,
top. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That and the Palms were the two places.
Yeah, Palms had that one too. Yeah.
Did you ever fight in New York or?
New York probably wasn't even legal.
New York wasn't legal when I was still fighting. I don't think.
Can you believe that at a point?
That's wild. So where else would it ever be hosted if it wasn't Vegas?
I fought in Canada twice.
Oh,
where'd you fight? Toronto or Montreal?
Montreal and Vancouver.
Oh, nice.
I fought in Brazil, not in the UFC though. What's that fight? Mostly Vegas.
Yeah,
that was your favorite place to fight, Vegas?
Yeah, Japan was interesting. That was I fought over there a few times
for the UFC.
I fought for the UFC over there, and I fought for Pride over there.
What was different about fighting in Japan?
It's just the first time I went going out there. I think there was 18,000 people there. And I remember it because I was watching the Dan Henderson fight, and I was sitting there on the coming out from the locker, like the first tier thing outside, and when we're standing there, and I'm screaming at him, and my brother's tapping me. I got my headphones on, right, screaming at something's like, hey, I'm what? People can hear you. Like, huh? There's a crowd. Like, no, it was quiet. Like when you fight,
the Japanese were quiet there.
Quiet there. It's like respect while you're
They're
fighting.
very polite there.
Yeah, but when you're fighting, so it'd go like it'd be like a guy pass the guard, but they're very intelligent fans too. But guy pass the guard and they'll go, ooh, quiet. Like I mean, I could yell instructions from the first risers down to the ring, and you can hear me.
Yeah,
it's like
Japanese love a good guard pass.
No, but it was like or like a good movement, but it was just so quiet. Like the fan, ooh, we're still fighting.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
we just went there recently to Japan a few months ago. I noticed that too. Like they're so polite. I think I heard one car horn the whole time. They don't honk. I
was well known out there when I was walking around too. Like I get like, and I'd start taking pictures, and you have a crowd. I'd be in a crowd of people, right? Like the mob thing. But as soon as my buddies be like, "Hey, let's go. We got to get you out of here." Like, and you start trying to go away. Everyone goes, "Oh, he's done. Okay, they just leave you alone."
It's very
polite. Like, oh, he's not taking pictures anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
Just stop.
That's where you got the tattoo?
What?
Is that where you got the tattoo?
No, I didn't get it there. But the tattoo's from my original karate style. It says Koi-Kon. Original.
Nice.
It's what we wear on our gis when you get your black belt. Instead of like your gym patch.
Yeah.
Switch that they have that on your gis. So
cool.
A lot of the fighters don't come from disciplines like that now, right? Like karate.
A lot of them do, a lot of them don't. There's a lot of guys that come from different things. It's just like I'm saying, if you decide to get in a fight, they start blending it so much sooner.
Right. True.
Like you start doing everything. They realize. I think one of the best things about the UFC coming out and way back was that teaching people that hey, we because my old karate style was like, oh, you can't masterize the art. You just gotta you can't evolve. Like, wait. Our founder evolved and made our style in I think it was 1952, and he combined different styles together and put it together into one style. Right? We had to stop evolving in 52. Like we can't get better. We can do. And I think one of the things that the UFC did was show everybody you have to have some kind of answer for a ground game.
Yeah,
you have to have some kind of answer for a wrestler. You're not just gonna, I can just punch you. Okay. Well, if you can't stop me from taking down, you don't get it. If you can't stop me from taking you down, you don't get to punch me. Sorry.
All right, guys, I want to tell you guys about another one of our sponsors, Beam Dream. This shit is fucking amazing. I've been taking this every single night. Beam Dream sent some of this to my house for me to try to see if they want to be a sponsor on the pod. And honestly, I wasn't really expecting much when I tried this. But first of all, it's only 15 calories. It's got like 4 grams of carbs, so like it doesn't affect the gains at all. And then you fucking make it and it tastes exactly like fucking hot chocolate. It's not just me too. Beam has amazing reviews. They've already helped over 28 million people have better sleeps across the country. And you take this stuff and it doesn't make you groggy. You wake up and you feel really, really good. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. Go to shopbeam.com/Nelk, use code Nelk, and take advantage of my exclusive offer for up to 40% off during Beam Dreams Powder. This is the best discount Beam gives out, so tell everybody you know too. Even if they don't listen to the show, if they want to fix their sleep, I'm telling you, you guys gotta try some. I really fucking love this shit. Like right after this, put the kettle on honestly now, because I'm about to fucking have one of these straight up. I love this shit. So remember, go to shopbeam.com/Nelk, use code Nelk for up to 40% off. Try it out and thank me later. Shout out Beam here.
My boy just let me know too, you did Dancing with the Stars.
Oh yeah.
How long ago was that? And who's your partner?
09, Anna Trebunskaya.
Everyone says it was a really funny and great performance. I don't want to take away from your dancing ability.
No, my dancing abilities are not. Look, it's one of those things. It's like
I'd be fucked on that show.
Well, that's a pretty.
Michael Irvin said it really well. He was on the show with me. He said, "I'm used to telling my body what to do, and it just doesn't." But dancing's not the same for us. Like one of the things I always say, like for me, like I got, our position, fighting, wrestling, football, it's all here. We're like bent over, we're in a good athletic position, right? In dancing, you need to be here, straight. In the position you're in, it's like, if I'm ever in that position in any sport I've ever been in, I'm screwed. You're done. Like, so,
Wait, so it psych you out when you're dancing?
When you're like, so when you get like, I get behind on a move or a step, you want to catch up, right? So you want to get to an athletic position to get there, right?
Yeah.
But like Anna explained it to me. She's like, look, when you get in that position, now I've got to travel 4 times the distance to get to where I got to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
funny.
so
we're talking about Dancing with the Stars and we're breaking it down like it's a UFC fight.
Yeah, but it's like I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I think she's trying to give it to me in a way I understand it. I'm like, oh, okay. But
so was it tougher to prepare for that than some of your fights, you think?
Oh yeah. Anything you're not comfortable in, like I like.
Did you go into that with the same confidence too? Or were you like, shit, I don't know?
Oh no, my thing is I just didn't want to let her down. I was trying to make sure I don't mess this up. And one of the hard things is like, she's so sweet. Like that, like in the season after, she was talking about the difficulties of working with someone my size.
Yeah,
she's like, well, he's like, and she called me I think she said call me a Sherman tank. Like I'm like, and she apologized. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, I'll take Sherman tank. That's good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That wasn't an insult to me. But she's like saying like that because a lot of the girls back lead the guys, so they back lead. So I can't back lead you. If you go the wrong way, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Like, we're not. I can't make you move the way I want you to.
Right.
So it was just that.
What did you place? Do you remember?
Oh, I was out after week 4.
Week 4,
maybe week 5. I don't know though. You know, like I think they're mad at me because a friend of mine, you know who you are. He stole the key. They had like for the practice room. The practice rooms, they had like one of those house boxes where you got a combination. You get the key out and you can open the door, right?
Yeah.
He stole it off the thing. Like when we were out, he wanted to see it. We were out drinking one night, and he wanted to go see the workout area. Like, oh, cool. I'm like, all right. And he's takes a picture or whatever. And we'll go in, say it, and then we get back to the house, and he's got the lockbox.
Oh shit!
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why did we get that? So I don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. I'll just take it back in the morning or whatever. I get up, I go in to go work out at like 12 or whatever, and I bring the box in. I'm like, hey man, my friend grabbed us. I'm sorry. They've got the cops and they're changing locks. They're freaking out. And so we pissed off the staff, like, or the people that run the place. Like they changed locks and everything.
They probably thought that there's like a stalker or some shit.
something crazy. So I'm like, I get it. I mean, and then I think I was out the next week. I was out that week. So I think that might have had something to do with that. They were just getting rid of me.
Yeah. This guy's a liability. We got to just, no matter how good his performance is, unless you had your best performance ever, then they're like, fuck, we're in a pickle here.
Well, yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, because I think we were still trying to get that. I mean, the reason I did it was because it was for, it's trying to get a demographic, because it was a demographic that isn't ours.
For sure. Yeah.
For me, it was perfect because
it's like how they had Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl. Yeah,
it's not our demographic. It's not my demographic. You know? So it's trying to get more people to see us as fighters and real
You're gonna ask your girl to call you a Sherman tank now, eh?
She already may. I'm trying to think because we have Dancing with the Stars, Entourage. What other big cameos? Because I think I'm missing
Blue Mountain State.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's
Blue Mountain State was fun.
That's
cool.
That is just one of the most legendary people.
The funny thing that move I do in there, that my special move. I don't know if you've seen that episode.
Yeah,
where I do a cartwheel to a horseshoe punch, and that was actually. Do you have any crazy move we can do? I mean, I do this one. We do like at the end of training camp. John used to always do this crazy like point sparring, like circle. Like, it's just kind of funny because we got there and goof around and do like Karate Kid type stuff, like try to score on guys. And one of the things I do is like, especially guys that are coming from other gyms or whatever, like I go out there and I try to get a cartwheel to a horseshoe punch. If I could land that, it was a walk off. Like but it was just fun. I was like, people like they look at you, you do a cartwheel on him, they look at it like, what's he doing? And then you dive in with him, and they wind up scoring both. So
that's legendary. Blue Mountain State.
His name's Thad Castle. I said that he's young, but Thad Castle, absolute legend.
Have you ever been like out at a bar and a fan's tried to press you or something and been that stupid?
Not really, actually. I've had guys look like I grew up fighting, and I knew how to turn what you say into a moment where you have to decide either going to put your tail between your legs and walk out the door or fight me. But I learned about when I was 21, 22 that I didn't really want to do that. I give guys outs, right? So I've had people say stuff where I could have easily turned it into a fight, or they were trying to be.
Prove something.
Hey man, hey, you sound pretty tough, man. We're making some good money now. You should probably fight in the UFC. And they go back and sit. They go, hey man, Chuck said I could be in the UFC, and then I go sit down and drink my beer and relax. But yeah, I always say like I never had much problem with that. Like usually here's the thing, I'm usually a lot bigger than they thought I was. I'm not known for being a slick wrestler or a striker, a slick wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm known as a heavy-handed brawler.
Yeah.
So that's not something you usually want to mess with. And to be honest, most assholes that would do that kind of thing are fans of mine. So as long as I'm nice enough to them, I'm easy, I'm approachable. I mean, I'm not easy to start a fight with. So
no, they just want to go home, tell their boys, I beat Chuck Liddell at fucking the dive bar tonight.
I never really had that problem.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I don't, and I'm laid back, and I'll laugh.
Yeah,
if you make fun of me, if it's funny, I'll laugh.
Yeah.
Was there any low points in your career, like mentally or just like emotionally?
If I have to pick one, I mean, obviously, anytime you lose, we're gonna have that. Retiring was tough, like just making that choice. But I think the hardest loss for me was losing to Randy the first fight with Randy. Not because I lost to Randy, because he's a great fighter, and I kind of knew what I did wrong coming into that. But letting Tito off the hook was what bothered me, because he was dodging me. He was like, he went from challenging me like, I'm gonna kick Chuck's ass after I'm done with Canada. Like I knocked the guy out and he wins, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want to fight me.
Yeah.
And so it was like, and this was the fight that I was going to get the interim title, and he's going to have to fight me if he wanted to get his title back. And I lost that one, so that kind of really sucked. But
yeah,
I think Dana helped out letting me go fight and try, and I got that fight with Overeem right away after that.
Yeah.
So it was like got me right back in the gym. So it was good.
What do you think made you such? Because I mean, even today, you're such a fan favorite. What do you think people love about you so much?
I don't know. I think I'm just me. Like I go out, I'm like, I think
authenticity is big.
I was never a character. I like to stop. My style of fighting was when I like to fight, the way people that happen to like that.
Yeah.
You have the sickest shorts ever too.
Yeah, thanks. Those are cool. Yeah,
other things, but the shorts are so dope.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
knockouts probably help too.
Knockouts helped. Yeah. Well, it's a style of fight. Here's the thing, man. I did jiu-jitsu. I was a good wrestler, decent wrestler. But I knew I could finish. I was best at finishing on my feet. And that's kind of when I got into the sport. Like I came in with two things, had to learn the ground, and I spent most of my time I know how to do submissions. I know how to, but I wasn't good enough at them to submit guys at that level. Right. I mean, I've been doing it for. People ask me, I've been doing it. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time. But during my fight career, I concentrated mostly on just getting off my back and staying at it and staying in good position on top. So, and not getting caught in things, not being, that's one of those things you have to learn submissions to understand what they're trying to do to submit you.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what they're doing, it's easy to catch you, right?
Right.
You learn some new, like when someone, it's a new move, and you get someone that, that's why those work so well, because when you're first learning them, you don't know what to do. Sometimes you do the wrong things.
What submission were you best at? What would you like the most? So like rear nakeds.
If I went for anything, it'd be a rear naked usually. I mean, goofing around and like I trained with Scott Adams, who was one of the best leg lock guys at the time, in my opinion. But so I didn't like playing. I was really good at countering leg locks, but as soon as you started to go for them, I'm out. I ain't playing with anywhere near. I'm getting out of here. I'm not playing with leg locks. So
who else is like that? You know, Ryan Hall. He always goes for leg locks.
Oh yeah,
that's all he does.
There's the guys that are good at it, man. And people who's gotten better and better. Obviously, like it's been, it's fun to watch.
All right. Well, what should we plug your clothing brand real quick?
Oh sure.
Yeah. What do we got here?
Yeah, new clothing brand.
The
Iceman.
Yeah, King of Violence.
This is chest day lifting T-shirt right here.
Shout out to Chuck Liddell.
King of Violence, kingofviolence.com.
Hell yeah.
So
this is your brand?
Yeah.
Dude,
When did you guys start this?
A couple years ago. Yeah, it's been going. It's been fun.
What other stuff are you doing like right now, like day to day, business wise, personal wise, hobby wise?
Raising kids. Just kind of looking at opening a gym. I've been planning on, but I've been talking about that for years. But I kind of stayed away from a fight team and doing all that stuff for a long time because of my kids. So I don't want to have to be gone when they got stuff coming up. I like to prioritize watching them play. So, but looking at opening one soon, and just doing things doing the out colds. Those are fun. Like if you do those reaction videos, those get on there with a few people and have fun watching those. Those are always people like those.
Yeah,
It's always some stupid things they put on there, but
that's awesome.
That's fun.
Hell yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming, bro. You're
Chuck,
a legend.
Thank you, man.
Chuck.
Thank you, man.
Thanks
Check
for
it
having
out.
me.
Thank you, bro.
Go.